Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to PRL race fans around the world. My name's Tag Delta. I'm flying solo today, but I'm bringing you guys Tier 1 from Australia. Looks like so far we've got a nice dry qualifying session. Should have a weather report coming in soon. So, good to be back in Australia. You know, we had to take a break. It wasn't included on the real F1 schedule due to the pandemic. So we do get to visit. Looks like we're out with Suzuki right away with that beautiful, beautiful white Red Bull livery. I personally really like this livery. I think it's great. It's something different to what we've seen before. So, Australia usually provides some good entertainment. It's a good track, good flowing track. A little tight in some areas, so overtaking is not always the easiest. You usually have to pull it into some of the larger braking zones to get an overtake here. Looks like our weather report comes back all dry, so that's great. Dry session means we'll have a dry session. It means some good entertainment, some hard racing for sure. When it's wet, sometimes drivers have to take a little bit more caution, so that will be good. Now, it does look like we actually have a Alfa Romeo of Stevie will be starting the first outlap here. So we'll get on board with Stevie here and take a look. Coming down here to the first corner, one of those overtaking zones. The track's a little bit wider there, and you're coming out of DRS, so a good place to get an overtake. If you're not quite close enough, sometimes coming down here into turn 3 can get the job done for you. Another high braking zone, high-speed braking zone. And from here, the track kind of starts to tighten up a little bit. It starts to become very technical. If you can get on the curves and run them, you're definitely going to see some time, but if you're a little too greedy, the curves will certainly let you know, and you'll be in the wall. So, Stevie coming down now here to the long left-hander. Good place to build up some speed. Certainly a place where coming up to this braking zone, you have to hit it just right, or you'll really lose some time. Looks like Stevie got through there all right. So we'll see here, entering into Sector 3. Sector 3 is fairly simple. Just a couple right-handers on the left. And then you're up on the main straight. Or you're preparing to get up on the main straight. And we will see what Stevie can do for us. So Stevie putting in a 1:23.2. Certainly not a bad lap time. Let's see, Suzuki should be next across the line. What's Suzuki going to give us? Suzuki just a few tenths behind with a 1:23.6. And looks like we're going to have Disgruntled, the 1:24.1. A McLaren must be starting an outlap. Or sorry, starting a hot lap. Looks like Suzuki's stopped here just to give me some room for other drivers to get by. Let's see who that is. That's Ankbank. Let's hop on board with Ankbank then. Oscar with a 1:21.8. Great time. Almost a full second faster than Scherer Shaft and the Williams there with a 1:22.7. So we'll certainly see these guys getting some times. Ankbank, I believe. Ankbank, the current Tier 1 leader in the Drivers' Championship with 309 points. Next closest to Ankbank is Yuppie with 224. So Ankbank feeling pretty dominant here in the Tier 1 Drivers' Championship. He's got the speed and the consistency to really really take control of a championship like that. Also helping out the McLaren team, who has a almost 100-point lead on the team's championship. So let's see what Ankbank here can do. Coming up to the line now. Looks like it's going to be a touch off. A little bit off from Oscar, but still pretty high up there with a 122.2. So, pretty good lap from Ankbank. I'm sure he'll be looking for more. Let's see who else we've got. It looks like that could be maybe Tambar. I think Tambar is about to cross the line. Yeah, let's see how Tambar can do here on this lap. Tambar will improve. Wow, the AlphaTauri is taking a provisional 1-2 here in Australia. Great work by that AlphaTauri team. Let's see who else is out on the track. Looks like we've got maybe is that a Williams coming in quick? No, not Frosty. How about Spin and Win? Ooh, looks like Spin and Win did spin, but won't win on this scenario. In the Alpine, my apologies. On the medium tire as well, so maybe just trying to get a banker lap in. It didn't really work out too well. That's fine. You can come back in the pits, get fresh tires, regroup, and we're all good to go. Ankbank, like I said, Ankbank would be coming back for more, and he does with the 121.4. Came back to show Oscar who's the boss around Tier 1. I think everybody else is now kind of coming in on an in lap, so I think we're going to see a little bit of settling down here for just a few minutes. And as we're settling down, we'll give you a decent view here of Ankbank driving us around the beautiful Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. And while we do, I'll give you guys a quick rundown of our top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. So, we have Ankbank for Team McLaren with 309 points. The Yuppie in the Mercedes with 224 points. Tambar follows in the AlphaTauri with 170. Monkey Pill in the Aston Martin with 159. Cher Shaft in the Williams bringing home 155 points. Jesper in the Aston Martin, currently with 151. Oscar in the AlphaTauri machine as well, with a 146. Deno in the Alpine with 140 points. Alibata in the other McLaren with 131. And Destroyer rounds off the top 10 in the Ferrari with 115 points. Looking over at our Drivers' Championship, the top 5 teams, McLaren with 440 points. About 100 points behind Aston Martin with 338. AlphaTauri sitting in third with 319 points, tied with Mercedes actually with 309 points. And the Williams team is our 5th best constructor with 297 points on the board. Right, so I hear some engines revving up. We've got some drivers out on track here. Looks like that's an AlphaTauri about to take us for a trip around Albert Park, and it's Oscar. So let's watch Oscar's lap here. Coming down to turn 3, hitting the braking point, going a little wide on the apex, but nothing that can't be recovered here. Gonna be tight. This right-hander is another one where if you can get on those curbs, you can certainly save some time, but it is risky. You pose the risk of taking a spinner. Another good little curb to just bump over across. Pretty solid into the long left-hander, so we had a Haas car getting out of the way there. So we'll be interested to see how they do the fast left-hander here. Taking just a little bit of curb and a quick little upshift to keep the car stable. Looking good, coming right up behind, getting a little bit of a draft from, I believe that was an Alpine or maybe a Williams, not entirely sure. Either way, Oscar about to come across the line here. See if he can improve over Ankbank. Looks like Jordy has retired from the session. We'll finish off this lap here and see if we can get on board and see what happened here. Oscar does not improve over Ankbank. Ankbank, let's see if we can get to that incident. Alibaba, there we go. We saw Jordy off to the side there. It looks like I see another car stopped on track. Maybe just to let some cars go. No, that looks to be Frosty. Can we get on board with somebody to see what's happened here? Let me see if we can pick someone out here. Let's see if... No, that car's been cleared as well. So let's get a few cars taking a bow early. Looks like Stevie, Frosty, and Jordy have retired from the session. Now, Jordy we saw in the wall, and Frosty was stopped along track somewhere. I'm not sure what happened with Stevie. May have just decided to come out, set a lap, put it back in the garage, and just let it be. Save up some tires, maybe. So it looks like Spin and Win keeping it nailed through that section. That'll be a great way to get some time. Taking plenty of curb around here. Coming up on the final corner, a little loose in the rear, keeps it together. Will it all pay off? It'll put him up to 6th. So certainly a good lap from Spin and Win. A Tier 1 reserve, I believe. It's not a name I'm too familiar with. So, good lap from Spin and Win. Who else do we have out here on the track? I see let's get a good look at this new Red Bull. I think maybe Suzuki will give us a good shot. Oh, nope. Suzuki must have heard me talking about it and decides he's going to take it into the pits. Who else do we have? I believe Rusty is in the other Red Bull, but Rusty's also sitting in the pits chilling out. So, in the meantime, we'll let Ankbank keep us company. Ankbank's on an invalidated lap, so probably just going to stop and recharge. May go for a second, depending on the tires. Who else do we have out running? The Aston Martin crew. Yeah, Ankbank going red on the fuel there, so yeah, Ankbank will bring that one in. Let's see what Monkey Pill's got for us here in the Aston Martin. Monkey Pill and his teammate Leah Koss? Sure. We'll go with that for this time. Leah Koss, a reserve, stepping in to hold down the fort for Jesper. So neither one of the Aston Martins have a time yet. This could be part of the strategy to maybe wait until the pack kind of clears out a little bit, and then maybe be able to put in a stinger right at the end. So Monkey Pill out on this hot lap. Looks like a decent time for Sector 2. Monkey Pill is a driver I've driven against in Tier 1. Definitely was quick. Quick and pretty consistent too. Usually one of the cleaner drivers that I raced against in Tier 2. So, great to have Monkey Pill up here in Tier 1. He's made some improvements, definitely fast, and I think this qualifying lap's about to show that. Monkey Pill up into the top 10, just ahead of Alibaba there in the other McLaren machine. So good lap from Monkey Pill. Who else do we have? I think now... let's see. We've had the other... I think Monkey Pill's going to give us the best view of it. Looks like the other Aston Martin has retired on the track. See if we can get a look here. On the right side, yes. So that's those curbs that I was talking about. Those curbs that were on the left side as we just drove past there. You get on those curbs, or the curb on the right side just to the inside, and that can spin you. That curb will throw you. It does not care. Looks like Grumpy has also had an on-track retirement. I think Monkey might give us a good view of it. Maybe Tambar if we get there quick enough. Yeah, Grumpy on the right side of the track. So if we jump back here with Monkey Pill, I can probably take a good guess at what happens. So this section of the track is really tricky, especially because if you get on the right there, if you get on those curbs just the wrong way, or you drift to the left a little too far and you get into the grass, the back end is gone and you have no control of the car anymore. You are pretty much in the lap of the gods at that point, and hoping that it doesn't go into the wall. So let's switch over. I think we've got Rusty out on track in the Red Bull. And I think Rusty's setting us a hot lap, so we'll get a good chance to watch. Rusty coming through about 210. Oh, just barely invalidates there on the edge. The track loves to throw those invalidations at you. Let me see if I can help out Darludo, who is still sitting in the pits. See if I can get him an invite to the session really quick. Bear with me. Alright. A little bit of connectivity issues for Darludo. But looks like we're back right in time to watch Rusty try this one again. Okay. So Rusty taking a little bit of caution on those curbs. Must have seen some of the other cars ejected off to the right side. Wants to be a little bit more cautious. We'll hop on board here. There we go. Rusty learning from the last lap and keeping it inside a little bit. Now the question is, will this give him the lap time that he's looking for? And I'm not really sure. Rusty, a Tier 2 regular, stepping up into Tier 1 pretty frequently as a reserve. He's definitely got the speed and the consistency for it. Looks like Rusty is going to cross the line here. Oh, Alibaba and Suzuki having a collision. Can we get on board with that? Let's see what we can see. That's Ank Bank. I'd like Alibaba. Alibada's off to the side here. I don't know where Suzuki is. Suzuki is out. So let's get on board here and see. Looks like Rusty may have been the one to stay with, as Rusty would have given us a good view of what's going on here. Just driving through. According to the UI, it looks like Suzuki would have been just off to the side there. So I'm not sure what happened between these two drivers. It looks like Alibaba is fine in terms of damage. No, that front left end plate is gone. So, clearly some pretty severe contact. I couldn't catch it, unfortunately, but I'm sure the steward's room will hear it. Steven, in the chat, we definitely appreciate that. We all enjoy racing, and I'm glad I can bring the action to you in a way that you find enjoyable. And I hope everybody else does as well. So, we got about 3 minutes left. Oh, no, qualifying is over. So these drivers have about 3 minutes left to set their times if they're already out on a lap. So Alibaba is definitely not going to be on a lap, having just had that contact. Do we have Tambar out on track? It looks like we do. And Tambar is on a hot lap. About 9,000 up right now. But we'll see as they go into... Oh! Man, massive incident for Tambar. That's what I'm talking about. That grass is not your friend. It will tear you apart every time. Every time. And Tambar trying desperately to stay out of the way as his teammate comes through. Let's hop on with Oscar and see how Oscar can finish out this lap after just seeing his teammate stricken on the side of the track. Tambar is able to keep the car moving, which is great, except there's no time left in qualifying to get some repairs done and get back into the pits. So Oscar coming through here, definitely going for a pole position. JH improves by a position just ahead. Oscar will take the pole position with a 121.222. Ankbank won't be too happy to see that. Let's see who else will be coming across the line here. I think that might be it as far as the drivers on a hot lap. Looks like we may have a Haas coming through. Is that... Yes, it is Decridian? Sure. Improves just over Suzuki, going into fourth with a 121.8. And I see a Ferrari and an AlphaTauri coming up to the line here, but I don't know that either one is on a hot lap. I know Tambar's not, and Destroyer is out of fuel. So that's qualifying for us, folks. We've got Oscar taking pole with a 121.222. Your championship leader, Ankbank, in second place with a 121.4. Shaft and the Williams, a 121.8. Fikridian with a 121.8 sent right here at the end of qualifying. And in 5th place, Suzuki. So a pretty dramatic qualifying session, honestly. Not what I would have expected, considering it was dry. So we'll run down here through the order real quick again. So that's Oscar, Ankbank, Shareshaft, Fikridian, Suzuki, and Tambar will line up on the 3rd row. Destroyer and Yuppie will be on row 4. Row 5, Spin and Win with Monkey Pill following alongside. Alibata and Leakos, I'm so sorry, I apologize. Followed by Stevie the TV with Disgruntled Muppet. JH and Frosty come up behind them. Rusty and Grumpy Old Cat Man, will take the 9th row. And in the final row, we have Jordy, Culpers, and Darludo, who I think had connection issues and couldn't put up a time. Let's see if we can get some incidents through here. All right, folks. Now, we are going to take a quick break. We'll have about 2 minutes here for the drivers to set their strategies and complete any other quick breaks or grab any waters that they may need. So I will be, I'm also going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with you for Lights Out in about a minute and a half. So see you soon. Alright, folks, we are back. The drivers are about to head out and start the formation lap. Oscar will be leading them around for this one. We've got our AWS predicted pit stop strategy. Looks like a soft to the hard or a soft medium. Both of the same lap stint around between laps 8 and 11. Let's go through and get a good look at who is on what tires. So we've got Oscar here taking the softs. We've got Ankbank also on the softs that they qualified from. Shaft similar. Fikridian looks like a little bit behind, holding the grid up a little bit. We'll also start on the soft tire, followed by Suzuki on the softs, Tambar with soft, Destroyer, Yuppie, Spin and Win, Monkey Pill. Monkey Pill the last driver to start on the softs, or at least of the top 10. His teammate behind, Leakos on the medium tire. Stevie the TV also taking a medium tire, followed by Disgruntled on the softs. JH, Frosty, also running soft tires. Alibata, I believe, is on the medium tire today to start the race. Yep. Rusty's on the softs. Grumpy on mediums. Jordy Culpers on the softs. And Darludo appears to be on the softs. We're not getting a very great camera angle here for that. How about we switch to the the tire view. Soft tires as well for Darludo. This is a little, it's not new per se, but we've had some issues with lobby desync recently, so we haven't had a formation lap in a little while. So I'm sure the drivers will feel good to get a chance to warm the tires up and kind of get just one last good feel for the track before we're lights out going full gas. Just coming down around now to the grid, Oscar will be pulling up. Now there is a little bit of gap here back to share shaft, so Oscar's got to be careful. Those tires are going to start to cool down a little bit as we go on. Alright, let's get up, let's hop on board here with Oscar. As the grid forms up behind him, we'll turn off all the graphics so we can get a good, great view of the start of the race. Alright, that's our grid. Here we are, the lights. We've got 5 red lights. And there they go. They're off. Looks like Oscar with a little stalled start there. Ankbank coming up on the inside. I think Ankbank's going to have this into turn 1. And he does. Oscar falling just a little bit behind. Let's see, do we have everybody through turn 1 cleanly? No, it doesn't look like it. I see some yellow flags or maybe somebody off track. But it does look like most drivers are through. So that's good to see. Let's take a look here and set. There we are. So, a pretty decent start from Rusty, going up 3 positions right off the bat. Tough start for Monkey Pill, dropping back a few positions. Maybe was the one who took a little vacation off the track. Let's get back up with our leaders here and see how they're battling it out. So Oscar chasing down Ankbank was not happy with the way he started the race. Probably is going to want to make sure to get this position back from Ankbank as soon as possible. Drivers coming through this section with cold tires, got to be so careful. Ankbank running a little off there, but still keeping ahead. They'll come into these dual right-handers. Now there won't be much of an overtaking opportunity here. Oscar, oh, with a little slide. Oscar just has to focus on keeping his cool, keeping it good. Oh, it looks like we have a Mercedes. Disgruntled Muppet is off track and has retired. I can't get a good view of it. I apologize for that, and we are now under virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. So will we see anybody diving into the pit lane? I don't think so. It's a little too early for that. It looks like, yeah, I think everybody decided to stay out for this one. Except for, I believe, Jordy Culpers at the very back of the pack has decided to come into the pits. We'll see what tires Jordy decides to take here. I can't say this is a terrible move. When you're at the back of the pack, you might as well come in and get some fresh rubber. Jordy will switch onto the mediums, onto the medium tire, and getting a fresh wing repair. So, really works well for Jordy. And Ankbank, wow, picking up a drive-through penalty. Was I correct on that? Drive-through? I believe so. Yes, a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. We are back green. So it's going to really hurt Ankbank. They're going to have to serve that, and they're probably going to want to serve it as soon as possible. You don't want to have that drive-through hanging over your head for the next couple of laps. And I believe if you don't take it within 3, you get disqualified anyway. So best to go ahead and get it over with now. And this is going to let Oscar get way ahead. That start isn't going to be bothering Oscar much longer. He's just going to sit patiently behind Ankbank and wait for Ankbank to dive into the pits, get out of his way, so Oscar can ride off into the sunset. So we'll see if Ankbank decides to serve it. No, Ankbank is going to stay out. Ankbank is going to stay out. So what he might be doing here is he knows that himself and Oscar can kind of trail away from the rest of the pack, as they tend to do during these races. So Ankbank's probably saying, you know what, I'm going to stay out, I'll let Oscar, I'll hold him up behind me, and we'll also go ahead and get away from the rest of the pack. Looks like another incident in Sector 1? Ooh, yes, looks like Ficridian has come off the track, and that's going to be unfortunate. Oh my goodness, another spin. Who was that, Monkey? No, that was Leakos. Oh my goodness, it almost got bad. Looks like J&H has bit into the wall now. Yeah, so J&H is now out of this race. After having a bad spin into the wall, all that smoke, all that tire smoke that comes up, and seeing cars all over the track, it's really difficult for drivers to try to figure out what to do. So now under the virtual safety car, I don't believe this will give Jordy exactly an ability to catch up, because he'll still have to meet that delta. But he will gain a couple of positions here, as he'll go past some of the drivers who is just disqualified. Sorry, not disqualified, have crashed out, J&H. Let's take a quick look while we're under this VSC, and we'll go ahead and get on board with Tambar, who looks to be the closest gap. Tambar and Sheriff Shaft. Let's take a quick look while we're under VSC of who are heroes and who the zeros are. So definitely the zeros would have to be Thicridian, JH, and Disgruntled, either spinning out or having massive incidents, sending them towards the back. Looks like our heroes right now, Rusty, Oil Can, and Zerludo. Certainly comeback stories for both of them, as Rusty not really getting the lap he wanted in qualifying, and also reserving up from a lower tier. And Darludo not being able to set a time at all in qualifying, starting in the back of the pack. Darludo has now moved up 6 positions. Looks like Ankbank has taken that drive-through penalty now. Makes sense, you want to do it under the virtual safety car. But as luck would have it, the virtual safety car ends as soon as he dives in. So now we'll have a good view here from Tambar, watching him and Sheriff Shaft battle Suzuki for that second place position. So I think we'll just hang out on board right here. I think this is the best seat in the house, folks. Looks like Spin and Win has dropped a position down to Yuppie. Him and Yuppie are battling close. This might be just a little bit better of a seat, folks. Let's see. Ooh, Yuppie got a little loose on the curb, and Spin and Win lets him know. Gives him a little tap there. Does Spin and Win have damage from that? It doesn't look so. Doesn't look so. So these two battling out close. It looks like that might be the end of that. For the moment. They're coming up into a straight stretch here, and let's get on with Tambar again to see how the drivers navigate through here, because your exit on this corner, your exit speed can really mean everything. You have somewhat of a straight, looks like the drivers have DRS enabled. They're coming down, yeah, no action there. Spin and Win it, and Yuppie still going at it. Spin and Win a little off to the side of the track there, but no issues so far. Looks like was able to make the move on Yuppie. But Yuppie's going to have it back for him here. We're coming up to another DRS zone. So we'll see what Yuppie can do, if Yuppie can post a challenge. Yuppie, a former Tier 2 champion. Ooh, Spin and Win off to the side a little bit. That's going to hurt. But Yuppie might not have the gas on this one. Spin and Win's going to say, go ahead, go around the outside, bud. Yuppie says, no thanks, mate. I'll stay behind you. I'll take your DRS coming onto this straight. I'll get you in turn 3. Ooh, Spin and Win takes a big spin. That certainly will not be a win. Oh, and looks like takes out Destroyer with him. My goodness, we've had a lot of drivers take some bad spins today, and we are now up to a full safety car. A full safety car for that incident. Man, just very unlucky for some of these names that we have seen in PRL plenty of times. Looks like Ankbank diving back into the pits, maybe getting a better set of tires. Yeah, Ankbank saw the safety car and said, you know what, I want some fresh mediums, and that's what Ankbank has got himself. So a good tactical move from Ankbank. Ankbank will be able to stay on these mediums. Good fresh tires, can take these bad boys around. I don't know if they will finish the race or not. 24 laps on the medium tires with a couple safety cars. Could be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see what Ankbank's got. I mean, you don't become the current leader of the Drivers' Championship for nothing, so we'll see. So now the big question is, how many drivers are going to dive into the pits? Spin and Win picking up another penalty. Just not Spin and Win's day. Now let's see. Oscar, I think, is certainly going to be coming into the pits. Yep. Is Suzuki going to follow? Share Shaft. Tambar. What's Yuppie going to do? Yuppie's going to dive in. Stevie's on the medium tire. He doesn't need to come in the pits. Stevie says, I want that leadership position. I want that on-track lead. More power to him. Monkey Pill decides to come in. I think Monkey Pill had a little bit of damage from that accident, so Monkey Pill will be looking to get some repairs done. Spin and Win coming in behind him, certainly also with some damage. Rusty staying out. Rusty wants to move up positions. He says, I'm tired of sitting in the back. Put me up front where I can do something. Looks like no damage for Monkey. Is able to come into the pits, put on the hard tires, and slide right on out. Looks like also we had Yuppie, Monkey, Spin and Win. Those were the last guys to come into the pits. Ankbank coming back into the pits yet again. I believe this is going to be Ankbank's maybe third stop? No, second stop. The first was a drive-through. But Ankbank just wasn't satisfied with those medium tires. Comes in to get the hard tires. So setting up to cover. Let's see. Who got what tires out of that pit stop now? Let's see if we can run through that. So of the drivers who pit, Oscar came in from the lead and got onto the hard tires. Now those hard tires probably will go to the end of the lap, and that's probably the reason they made that decision there. Let's hop up with our leaders briefly. There we are. We'll have Stevie take us around behind the safety car. So Oscar getting onto those hard tires, thinks they can take him to the end, thinks he's got the pace on him. I would say that's probably a fair assumption. Suzuki also going onto the hard tires from the pit stop. Shaft, Yuppie, and Tambar deciding they would prefer the mediums, so we'll probably see another pit stop in their future. Monkey Pill going onto the hards, wants to take those to the end. And looks like Spin and Win and Ankbank also taking hard tires. So a few drivers moving onto the hard tire. That may very well be the move here. Seems like a lot of drivers sprung for that, and they certainly will go the rest of the way. Now, considering I think we've seen 1 to 2 pretty severe accidents and only had virtual safety cars for one of them, I don't know that the possibility of another safety car is one that I would bet on. Usually after this point in the race, the drivers kind of smooth their races out, play a little less aggressive until we get to the very end. So we may see one more safety car, but I'm not too sure. We'll probably definitely see another virtual. The walls here are just too tight to allow green flag racing with the car off to the side. Let's take a new look at our heroes and zeros. I definitely know who the hero of the day is going to be. It's going to be Mr. Rusty Oil Can, up 15 positions from the start. Great run from Rusty. Now, Rusty is on the soft tire with 6 laps, so Rusty may have to come in soon. But I think that track position is really going to help him out. Even if he has to make a green flag pit stop, I think having that advanced track position is going to be better off than perhaps having to make the same pit stop from 13th. Going back to our position changes, Darludo also up to 16th position on the soft tires with 6 laps on them. So another great move up from the back. Alibata up 10 positions alongside Grumpy Old Man, who also has up 10 positions. They're both on medium tires, so these guys could stay out again. If we do have another safety car, they could stay out for that time. Or that would be a good time for them to pit, rather. Who else do we have? As far as those who haven't... Ooh, Suzuki is DNFs. What's wrong there? Let's see if we can jump to the back real quick. Suzuki in the right side of the wall. Not entirely sure what happened there. May have gotten on some of that grass and done a spin. Safety car coming in this lap, so hopefully the marshals can get that cleaned up real quick. In terms of our losers who haven't crashed out, our zeros. Oh, it looks like another spinner, maybe. Frosty? Yeah, Frosty spun. Again, so difficult with his tires cold going through this third sector. A lot of the curbs, they would love to make you spin. Or even just the little blades of grass. You wouldn't think they'd have such violence in mind, but they do. Anyway, in terms of the drivers who haven't crashed out, Ankbank certainly not having a great race so far. It's still early, but that penalty, the drive-through for the virtual safety car infringement, certainly he's going to be kicking himself for that one. Looks like Stevie's taking off for us, so let's get back on board and see where he can go. Stevie's got quite a gap back to Rusty. So let's keep an eye on, looks like we might have some action here with Oscar. Looking to make a move on Darludo. Oscar can go around the outside and get the move done. Darludo may have some more connection issues. I'm not sure that he's actually in the race at the moment. So hopefully Darludo can make it back in. No, it looks like Darludo's not in. Let me see if I can get an invite out to him real quick. Well, we'll do that soon. We have some action here to look at. Shaft coming right up behind Grumpy. He's going to use some of that ERS. Going to go on the inside here. You got plenty of room to go through the inside. Boom. Move done. Shaft, great overtake there on Grumpy. Looks like Yuppie also made it through on Grumpy. So maybe Grumpy got forced a little wide there by Shaft. Got out on the grass. Tambar also getting around Grumpy. I'm not sure what's happening here with Grumpy, but not having the greatest of time right now. Let's get back on board. It looks like Oscar's creeping up on Rusty. Has actually already made the move by the time we get there. So Oscar definitely ahead of the game on us. Who else do we have running close? Tambar, Sheriff Shaft, Yuppie, we've seen them battling quite a bit. Looks like Jordy and Facridian also going close. Yeah, you kind of have to see that. There just wasn't room there for a move. But we'll see what Jordy can do getting back here on the straight. Ooh, he's got Spin and Win coming up on his inside. Not going to mind Spin and Win. Spin and Win's going to say, you're going to have to mind me, bud. I believe Spin and Win does not look to have DRS. Neither of them do. They both missed the boat on that one. Spin and Win again. Take it on the inside. Does this give Jordy the DRS? No. No DRS within the first 2 laps after safety car. My bad. Sorry, everyone. Alright, let's see who else is battling. Looks like Sheriff Shaft getting really close here on Alibata. Sheriff Shaft certainly fighting for a piece of this championship. Sheriff Shaft is sitting 5th right now. So going to do everything they can to try to get up ahead. Tambar following pretty close behind, so we've got a close battle here with these 3. And this is not the first time we've seen these 3 together, so they tend to keep it pretty clean though. Not much drama here, unless you consider, well, at least no drama in terms of having accidents. Looks like Oscar making the move there on Leakos. Oscar on those hard tires, really making them work. So now we've formed up here into a train behind Zarluto. We've got Alibata, Sheriff Shaft, Yuppie, and Tambar all fighting for that 5th position. Alibata running a little wide. Sheriff Shaft putting the pressure on. Let's see if Yuppie can give us a good view. Sheriff Shaft getting through. Alibata just couldn't hold him back any longer. And Alibata's going to drop down to Yuppie. Will Grumpy be able to get in on this? Grumpy actually getting past Tambar, so a great move by Grumpy. Coming back with a vengeance. Ooh, Grumpy on the inside, a little loose. He's going to keep it together. Tambar right up behind him. Not going to really have a great opportunity for a move. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1. Looks like perhaps Monkey Pill is taking a little spinneroony. Tambar taking up the inside of Grumpy, leaving a little bit of space, but I think he's got the move done. Grumpy actually falling back both to Ficaridian and Spin Win. So Grumpy seems to just have some struggles out here with some of these guys getting around. We've got yellows in sectors 1 and 2. It looks like Frosty is now out. Ankbank running through the pits yet again. Kind of a strange move from Ankbank there. We'll see if we can see what's happened to Frosty pulled off the side of the road here. We have a yellows. We don't have any safety car of any kind. See if we can get a good look. I would bet this one is the inside curb right here that Ankbank is going across. The car's been removed, but right about here was the incident, so I would say it's probably that inner curb striking back yet again. We all love racing except for that inside curb. Let's hop on board with Yuppie here as they come up on Darluto. Sheriff Shaft trying to get through. Darluto looks like to dive into the pits. Unfortunately, I think Darluto's had connection issues, and that car is just an AI at this point. So, Yuppie's going to come down, going to have the DRS here on Sheriff Shaft. I don't think Yuppie's got space to make a move quite yet, but these two will certainly keep it close getting into the next little run. Let's drop back and check out Spin and Win, seeming to get closer and closer to Facridian. Running a little wide on the corner there. So they are coming up to, after the long left-hander, there is a DRS zone, so if Spin and Win can keep it close enough, can maybe get something out of that. Doesn't look like Spin and Win's going to keep it close enough. Let's jump back up and see how Yuppie, Sheriff Shaft are doing. These two have kind of just followed each other through the pack so far. They're coming up on their next challenge, Rusty. Rusty, I think, has the older tires. Yes, Rusty has the older soft tires. About 11 laps old now, so those things are seeing the end of their life. I think Rusty's probably going to be into the pits soon, so if these guys can be patient... No, Rusty's going to stay out. He's going to push those soft tires till they can't go any farther. Oscar setting the best lap there on the hard tires, the 125.8. Yuppie wants to move on Sheriff Shaft. Sheriff Shaft didn't get a great exit out of the last corner there. And Yuppie's using that to their advantage. Yuppie's got the DRS, and it looks like they're about to take the position here, too. Yep, Sheriff Shaft just deciding to go ahead and settle in behind. Ooh, Yuppie getting into Rusty. Rusty broke just a little bit earlier. Those soft tires had to take it easy. Not what Yuppie thought. Yuppie has spun, got into the back of Sheriff Shaft. Going to try to stay out of the way of these drivers. Great work by Rusty to stay out of the way and not cause another incident. So great work by Yuppie with the car control there. Unfortunate to hit the spin. Looks like Monkey Pill, a spinner from last lap, has finally made it back to the pits. Going to go in and maybe freshen up, get some better tires and a better wing. Let's come back up here and watch our leaders here. Oscar on the hard tires, going to try to get around Stevie. Stevie on those medium tires. Are those new mediums? I can't quite remember. They are not. Those are mediums from the very beginning of the race. So while they've gotten Stevie up 11 positions, I don't think he's going to be able to hold the lead from Oscar here. Oscar's got the fresh, hard tires. Oscar doesn't need to make another pit stop. And Oscar has certainly shown some pace on these tires, setting the fastest lap on the last lap. A little bit slower this time, maybe catching a little bit of dirty air off of the back of Stevie. We'll see how these two battle here through this DRS zone. But I get a feeling Stevie's going to continue to hold it for this lap. Rusty now finally coming in to get rid of those soft tires. Do we have any other drivers left on that soft tire? No, all the drivers have either switched on to the mediums or the hards. Rusty taking the mediums, so that must have been his strategy. Run 13 laps on the softs, and he's going to finish the race here on the mediums. Yuppie and Jordy also coming into the pits. All drivers on fresh mediums. So that leaves Grumpy, Alibata, Liakos, and Stevie are yet to pit. They will need to come in eventually and get a different compounded tire. I'm betting those guys are going to try to push it to the end and go on the softs. Try to put in a few screaming laps here towards the end. Oscar going through that apex pretty well. Going to try to make a move work on Stevie here. Going around the outside. Is he going to leave the room? Looks like Stevie decided to back out of that one. Sheriff Shaft taking a penalty. Looks like Sheriff Shaft is out of the race. Can we get a view of what happened here? I think I know what happened. Yep, that grass on the left has taken Sheriff Shaft out of the race and thrown us a virtual safety car. So, will these medium tire runners look to come in? Oscar actually looking to come in on the hard tires. An interesting choice. Maybe he was trying to go to the end of the race, but now has an opportunity. Going to come in and get medium tires, my bet. Maybe I should make a trip to Vegas, because that bet is on. So now Oscar on these medium tires. They're going to be a lot quicker than the hard tires, and they're going to last to the end of the race at this point. So Oscar pretty confident he can take it to the end. Looks like Spin and Win and Fakirdian, the other hard tire runners, also coming in for mediums. That's that eSport pit release, so drivers don't have to worry about being queued up. Coming really in handy there for Spin and Win. So we're still under a virtual safety car. We're going to see any other drivers coming into the pits. Ooh, Spin and Win must have crossed the line on the exit. Has picked up a penalty. No. My apologies. That's from earlier in the race. Okay, only a 3-second penalty, so driver's doing pretty well on penalties this time around. We love to see good, clean races. Let's check it out and see who's going to be close when we go back to green. It looks like it could be Tambar. Tambar going for the move on Ankbank, or perhaps Grumpy on Oscar. Let's check this one out. So Stevie the TV still staying out on those medium tires. Grumpy's going to be a little wary there. Probably may have gotten a warning for that. Just a little too much on those curbs. But I totally understand it. If you try to go to the left too much, they might decide to throw you through the spin cycle. So Grumpy doing what he has to keep the car on track. That's Rusty's style. Sorry, Grumpy's style. Grumpy not really making headways on Oscar. Oscar's got the fresh mediums. Grumpy putting up a good fight, but just can't hold it. This is Darludo, I believe. Darludo has dropped back into the realm of AI, unfortunately. Let's see, Jordy Cooper is looking to make a move on Monkey Pill. Let's see if we can get Darludo back. I'm not sure if they've continued to have connection issues, or what the case is here, but we'll send one more invite. Looks like Tambar has dropped back a little bit from Ankbang. The pack's starting to kind of separate away from each other a little bit here. Jordy looks like he wants to go for it again on Monkey Pill, so let's tune back into these guys. Oscar setting our best time to get on those medium tires. Yordi still hunting down Monkey Pill here. The reserve. Actually, I think we've seen Jordy drive in a couple races now. So a more experienced reserve trying to take on Monkey. A PRL veteran. Ankbank getting really close, closing in here on Darludo. Gets the move done. Oh, Darludo's AI fighting back a little bit there. Not very happy about getting past there. Spinning when taking a penalty again for track limits. Our only driver here still on track who's accumulated some penalties. Pretty clean race from the guys today. We like to see it. How's Monkey Pill doing? And oh, Monkey Pill's been passed by Jordy. So they'll come up to a DRS point here, and we'll see. They are on tires that are about the same age. Looks like Oscar getting past Alibaba now, up for third position. Let's see what Monkey Pill can do. Good exit. Had to lift just a little bit. Wasn't comfortable with that one. Not going to make it happen this time, but might be able to close up the gap just enough to make something happen on the front straight. So we'll stay tuned in here and we'll see what these guys can do. Now, Monkey just not quite close enough here on the front straight. Let's see, looks like we're going to have a three-way battle closing up here in just a second. Oh, let's tune in first with Ankbank, making his way back up the field. Rusty picking up a 3-second penalty for track limits. Ankbank's going to see that. Ankbank, wants the position. Rusty's going to kind of give it off to him. Great move, actually, from Rusty here. Rusty reserving up in Tier 1. Knows that Ankbank's a championship contender here, and respectfully decides to get out of the way. We love to see tough racing, but we also like to see respectful racing, so props to Rusty for that move. Looks like Tambar and Yuppie moving up the field here. Tambar closing quite in close on Yuppie. They've lost their battling partner, Share Shaft, but these two are still going to go at it. Let's see how close they can keep it coming around to the front straight here. Looks like something going on in Sector 1, maybe a little off-track action, nothing too concerning. So we've got the medium tire runners of Grumpy, Leakos, Alibaba, and Stevie the TV running still up in the top 5. All 4 of those guys. The only foreigner in terms of old medium tires is Oscar, who is on the younger 4-lap mediums. So Oscar for certain going to be able to finish the race up there, but very interesting how the others have been able to keep it. Tambar's going to slip by on the DRS. Can he get it stopped? I think so. Now will Yuppie have an answer? We'll have to stay tuned in for this. Stevie the TV with a pretty good gap over most of the drivers. Looks like, okay, Stevie actually diving into the pits now. So we'll see where Stevie comes out. I would anticipate just ahead of maybe Spin and Win or Ficridian. I'm not really sure. Grumpy making the move on Leakos. I would think these guys would start coming in now. Oscar going ahead and taking the lead. Stevie the TV onto the soft tires. I think we're going to see Alibata go onto the soft tires. I think we're going to see Grumpy and Leakos come in and also go on the soft tires. No, Grumpy does not come in. Leakos does. Stevie the TV actually about out on track in second place, so that worked out really well for Stevie. Looks like the pit delta is only about 15 seconds here. We do see Leakos and Alibata go onto the softs, although they drop quite a bit further back. Attempting to get out of the pits here. Leakos looks to be held up in the pits. What's going on here? Maybe a wing change. Not really sure. Leakos struggling to get out of the pits, comes all the way down to the back. We'll hop back on here with Bank. With teammate Alibata close behind. About 4 seconds. 4 seconds. That could close up here with Alibata on the soft tire. Let's find our next battle here. Looks like Ficridian only 4/10 down on Spin and Win. Will they be able to get the move done? They make it through that tricky turn. I think Ficridian certainly wants the move, but will they be patient enough to get something that's going to work? I would assume we're going to see Grumpy come in here, because Grumpy's starting to really fall back on some of these guys on the younger tires. Grumpy old Catman, Grumpy old medium tires for sure, and he will dive into the pits to get some maybe less Grumpy, less old soft tires. That's what I would expect we'll see. Ficridian with the DRS, blows past Spin and Win, no problems. Gets it slowed down, makes it through the turn, move done. Grumpy moving on to the soft tires now. Let's see where he'll come out. Could be battling with Yordi here on the exit. No, Grumpy's going to exit nice and safe. Although Yordi does dive out, so he will be right on Grumpy here. Now Grumpy's got those soft tires, but they're cold. Yordi's got some mediums, but they're not too old, and they're warm, nice and warm, sticky tire. So we'll see if Yordi can pose a challenge here on Grumpy. Now it looks like Grumpy's going to hold that position. Monkey Pill just a few positions down. About to get around Darludo. Let's jump back up to the top here. I think Spin and Win looking to put a move on Ficridian. Coming into the final third of the race here. Spin and Win gonna have the DRS, but I don't think has the gap to make a move here. Maybe down into turn 3. We'll see. Not gonna quite have the beans for that one. Yuppie coming up quick on Tambar. Yuppie's lap tires just a couple laps younger, but that may not really make too much of a difference here at this stage of the race. It could be quite impactful later. We'll see. Yuppie and Tambar still keeping it close. Again, missing Cher Shaft, their sparring partner, but these two going to continue to drive close and hopefully provide some entertaining overtakes for us. In the meanwhile, just up the road, we have Alibata starting to close in on teammate Bank. Now, the question is, what will these drivers do? Bank is leading the championship by a somewhat decent margin, but I'm sure would love to extend it. Alibata's on the faster tire. Will we see team orders here, or will they let them race? We're not sure exactly what's going on at McLaren HQ, but I'm sure we'll find out here sometime in the next 7 laps. Yuppie seeming to be pretty close on Tambar, going to go for the move. Swipes to the left, wants to go around the outside. Tambar leaves him some space. Yuppie's still going to go for it. Tambar on the inside, giving Yuppie plenty of space. Yuppie getting over into him just a little bit. They're going to go through here side by side, coming up onto the front straight. Who's going to have DRS? I'm not entirely sure. Tambar seems to be behind. Tambar has the DRS on Yuppie. So conceding the position, but maybe a tactical move to get it back going into turn 3. Tambar backs out of this move, knows it's not going to work. Says, I'll line you up for turn 3. With an alright exit. This is going to be close. Tambar's going to go for it down the inside. Holds that position off from Yuppie. No problem. Yuppie, ooh, got to be careful on that inside. That's happened once already. Yuppie taking notes from the last time and not getting up on the inside there. Spin and win. Another 3-second time penalty for track limits. Sometimes when you've been driving in career mode and you have normal stringency on track limits, you come into a league where it's strict and you tend to struggle, so definitely understandable there. Yuppie sitting in just behind Tambar. Not sure if he'll be able to make a move or not. Monkey Pill with the 3-second penalty for track limits. Leocost picking up a penalty as well, so the drivers have been accumulating these warnings throughout the race. Now they're really starting to form into full penalties. Let's do one last check and see who's been making the moves here. Stevie the TV and Ali Bada both up 10 positions. The moves they've been making really been sticking, really been helping them out. Jordy and Grumpy both up from the back of the pack, up 8 and 9 positions respectively. Some good performance from them. I think Stevie really has to take the crown here. Getting himself up on the podium. And on the soft tires now, Stevie's got a chance to certainly stay there. I don't know if Facridian can really challenge that with the slightly older mediums and overcome that 7.9 second gap. It does look like Facridian's eating into it. But will he be able to eat into it fast enough? We're not sure. Looks like Yordi thinking about a move on Rusty. He'll have some DRS here. Gets a pretty decent exit. And not too far behind is Leocost looking for anything they can get. Struggled with that pit stop earlier in the race, so hopefully he's able to make something happen here. They're going to have a big DRS train. Rusty's under major threat here on those older medium tires. Yordi with the same age, but Leocost with the 4-lap-old softs is going to really be looking to take advantage of that here. Jordy going to go up the outside of Rusty, and that puts Leocost right in a position to get right up behind Rusty. He's going to hit the DRS, and it looks like Rusty's going to lose 2 and 2. Sorry, 2 over 3. Over 3. Rusty going to settle in there. Now it looks like Yuppie and Tambar have kept up their battle. Tambar slipped a little bit behind Yuppie, so may have had a little bit of a off-track excursion. Puts him behind a little bit. Really kind of seeming to struggle to get into the corner. Does Tambar have any damage? Now the front wing looks to be okay from that perspective. We'll get another quick look. No, I think Tambar is okay. The wing looks pretty good. Just struggling a bit. Let's hop back on with Leocost here. Looking to make the move on Yordi. Those soft tires really starting to pay off right now for Leocost. And they will probably make it to the end with no problem. Leocost does have some penalties here, though, that he needs to recover from in order to stay in that 10th position. Leocost can't make the move there. He is going to try for it here. Oh, I get stuck up behind Yordi a little bit. Struggling to get on the power. Going to have the DRS. That should help. It's going to have to be around the outside. And it's tight. Leokoss staying to the inside, going off track a little bit. He's gonna have to give that one back. That one's not gonna work. Still has a few laps to make it happen, but I don't want to burn up those tires battling too much. See if we can jump up the road to Grumpy, who's about to get DRS on Tambar after we come through the long left-hander here. We'll see if Grumpy can make a move. He's got those fresh, soft tires. Tambar struggling a little bit on those older mediums. Maybe explains the big gap to Yuppie that's formed. Grumpy takes this one nice and smooth, down to 7th and 6th, and starts to rise back up through the gears. Grumpy wants that move on Tambar. I don't think it's going to happen this time around. Grumpy going to be looking to probably make a move here on the front straight. And if not the front straight, then into turn 3 with a little back-to-back DRS. So Grumpy is picking up, closing that gap quite quickly. Is he going to go for it here? No, Grumpy decides to pull out of it. Wise old Grumpy Catman here, making a good move. He will try for it here, though, into turn 3. Oops. Tambar locking up heavy. Grumpy knows he can get the move done, just needs the right opportunity. And Grumpy was going to wait for it, I'm sure. A forced move won't get him anywhere. But a good calculated move can get him up in position and get a few more of those valuable points. Leokoss making the move on Jordy just behind them. Let's move up to Tambar here. Got Grumpy right there in the rear view. Is Grumpy going to close up through here? Tambar's kind of got to be careful. Tambar makes it through. He's using all that ERS. He's down to in the single-digit percentage. Is trying to just stay ahead of Grumpy. He'll do it. Grumpy getting closer and closer and closer. It looks like Yordy's had an issue. Now moving down a couple positions. So there's a big battle going on back there. Not entirely sure what's happened. Let's see if Grumpy can get the move done here. Grumpy's going to have that DRS. Tambar using all the ERS, telling Grumpy, hey, why don't you take it on the outside? Grumpy's thinking about it. Grumpy's going to go for it. They're side by side. No. Grumpy can't get it done here. Let's see what Grumpy decides to do on this next one. Grumpy coming in. Just can't make it happen on Tambar. Tambar giving him the fight of his life. Tambar wants that 8th position, and he will do anything to protect it. We've got a good battle here. I think we're going to stay engaged on this one. These two just keeping it close as much as they can. Tambar certainly has some stake here. So Tambar is 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. So Tambar not really looking to just throw this race away on a silly move with Grumpy. But also looking to score up as many points as possible. Now it looks like Tambar got through that corner pretty well this time. Maybe running out a little wide with a lock up there again. Tambar's going to have crazy wild vibrations with all the flat spots on those tires. Another lock up. Grumpy's going to line him up yet again. Here we go. Grumpy with the ERS and the DRS. Grumpy wants this position. He wants the move done. Coming up on Tambar pretty hot. Is he going to go for it on the inside this time? No, he's going to hold back and just wait for the right opportunity. Got to be patient. Oscar picking up a 3-second penalty. I don't think it's going to matter with the 12-second gap to Stevie. Tambar just giving Grumpy a time. Let's jump back here between Monkey and Yordy. Looks like they're kind of going back and forth as well. Grumpy closing in on Tambar still. Ooh, double lock up there from Tambar. Grumpy's got to take avoiding action. That's going to put him off for a little bit here. So Monkey Pill looking to make a move here on Yordy. Using just a little bit of that ERS to try to get up here before we get to the DRS zone. Probably going to use the rest of it right here. This is the final lap, so drivers have to make something happen if they're going to do it now. Ooh, Monkey Bill just a little too close to that barrier. Not going to be on this one. Grumpy closing right up on Tambar. He knows this is the last lap. Grumpy knows he's got to make this move now. Tambar with the lockup. Grumpy, these two are going to come down right to the line. And I think Tambar's going to hold this one off. Grumpy trying to get all the drag reduction he can. Oh, it's going to be so close. Grumpy making the move happen. Grumpy finishing the move on Tambar here. And we're actually on the final lap. These two have one more to go. My apologies. This one's not over till it's over, folks. Grumpy finally getting that move done on Tambar. Probably feels a lot of relief here, knowing that he can kind of start to pull away and leave Tambar behind. Spin and win, picking up another penalty up there at the top. Okay, Oscar has now finished the race and will take the win here again for AlphaTauri. Stevie should come in behind him, and Ficridian will round out our podium. There they are. Grumpy gonna keep it clean. Tambar did his best to defend, but just can't keep up at this point. Let's see what the penalties here. Are there any close battles there? No, not particularly. Yordi will go up a position by keeping it clean. Well done. Monkey Pill just not quite gonna get there on Yordi. Rusty coming across the line, and that is the race in Australia, folks. That's all we wrote here down under. Driver of the day going to Stevie the TV, moving up, I believe, 10 positions. Great race from Stevie, made the most of the pit stops. Here's our podium. These drivers fought hard for it. Oscar's starting off on the soft tire, moving quickly up to the hards, and then dropping back onto those medium tires, which are a little bit quicker. Stevie making the moves to get up there, and Ficardian, a new driver for us, getting on the podium. Great work. Let's take you through the order one more time, now that we are final. So Oscar taking the lead, with Stevie and Ficardian keeping him company on the podium. Ankbank in fourth, Alibata, followed by Yuppie. Spin and win, those penalties really brought him down the order. Grumpy old Catman stealing that 8th from Tambar right on the last lap. Yordi bringing home 10th. Great drive from Yordi. Leacos in 11th. Monkey Pill 12th. Rusty 13th. The rest of our drivers had either connection issues or were DNF'd, had an incident. We'll take a quick look here through the race director. We appreciate you guys tuning in and enjoying T1 with us here in the Performance Racing League. We hope to see you guys soon, here in about 15 to 30 minutes for Tier 2, where I will be driving. Again, thank you guys for coming out and joining us for this race, and we will see you next week.